Hello friends, I'm Meghna Thomas and welcome back to our channel Golden Epaulets Aviation Pilot Training Academy, your route to the cockpit. In my video today, we are going to be talking to you about the 9 challenges that you will face when you learn to fly. So if you're about to begin your flying journey, my video today will give you a little bit of help. Learning to fly is not easy, and each skill learned requires the application of some degree of mastery of the previously learned skills. Some skills are easy to learn and master, and some are just hard, but none of them is impossible. So let's talk about the first challenge, that is your landings. Landing is the most perplexing skill to learn because each landing is different and takes place very close to the ground. The weather is never the same on any 2 landings. It is because of the wind. The winds are always different. Further, the slightest change in how you fly and approach will change what it looks like and how you land. Success comes only with practice, and for landings, it comes with lots of it. Landing is something like watching a baby walk. The baby struggles mightily for a while, and then one day it just clicks, and you wonder, why was it so hard? The second challenge is your crosswind landings. Many pilots learn how to make crosswind landings and then avoid them forever after they pass their check rides. Very few students are able to master them. Crosswind landing requires a genuine level of understanding and comfort level. The next challenge is the weather. You need to become somewhat proficient in understanding the weather, especially on a larger scale. It helps to have so much weather information available on the internet, and most of you will find it helpful to look at the weather maps and the forecasts before calling in for a briefing. A good briefer will put that information in context and help you to understand in how the weather will affect your proposed flight. The fourth challenge is the limits of the IFR training. As a private pilot candidate, the amount of simulated instrument flying time that you get is very minimal. But it also can be deceiving because it can make you think that you can do really more than you can. It can also seem to be easy, but trust me, flying in the clouds is exhausting both mentally and physically. The fifth challenge is understanding the risk. Risk is inherent in everything we do, from getting out of our bed to driving our cars and to fly. Flying is, however, different because we are flying in a 3-dimensional environment in which we do not belong to. Further on, risk does not follow a simple formula. So what adds a greater component of risk on one flight may not even be an issue on another. Learning how to consider the various factors that contribute to risk is a skill that must be learned. Some of it is based on your personality, some of it is life experience, and some you learn it from your CFI, that is your Chief Flying Instructor. And the final decision of how much risk is too much risk is on one person, that is you. The sixth challenge is flying without a GPS, a global positioning system. Well, GPS also stands for going pretty straight, but you need to have a deeper understanding of how to navigate without a moving map. So practice some navigation in which the only moving map is the one on your lap, and this map moves only when you refold it or you move it away. Phew. Flying via dead reckoning is a skill, and on a clear day it's enjoyable. Seasoned pilots prefer this kind of IFR where it means I follow roads. It's also a skill that you will need to demonstrate on your check ride, and this skill will come handy if ever your GPS screen goes blank. The seventh challenge is to know your limits. Knowing your limits applies to knowing the winds, ceiling, and visibility. It also involves the airplane you choose to fly and everything in between. The limits of your training should be the baseline decision point for everything you do. It is one thing to tackle a crosswind that is 2 or 3 knots more than what you had in your previous while flying solo, and it is something different to go 15 to 20 knots over that value. You should know what you can do on your own and also know where you need to call your CFI for help. When you ask for help, it shows that you have a greater understanding of the risk. Eighth challenge is to master the ATC and radar. If you fly near a controlled airfield, you will master your skills of radio operation. If you fly in an uncontrolled airport, then that interaction with the ATC becomes very minimal. It is always considered beneficial if you can fly in a controlled airfield. This will give you a good exposure to the ATC and the radar facilities, and you will really appreciate the safety net that they provide. Now, the ninth challenge is paying for your flying training. Learning to fly is expensive, no doubt, and transactions that involve a large sum of money can cause stress. Save as much as you can before you start paying towards your flying fees. Well, also taking a loan is an option, but do go through all the risks involved before you apply for one. For more such informative videos and updates, keep following our channel Golden Applets. What are you waiting for? Come, let's fly!